Hey guys, welcome to Quinian's Budget Crafts. So here is how I do wood. This wood is made out of XPS, but it works just fine on popsicle sticks or anything else. Start out with nutmeg, move up to caramel or some other tan, and then some King's Gold. If you want a nicer, darker wood, like for furniture, you can use burnt umber or melted chocolate, one of those. And if you want to age it, use a little antique white. So the trick with the wood, especially if it's XPS, is to not get too heavy with your paint. You don't want to kill all this detail. So get some paint on your brush and then blot a lot of it away. So you still have tons of paint on your brush, but it's not any big gloms. And then go across the grain so you don't get it in the grain. If it's still coming out very dark like this, you can of course add more paint, but when you do your lighter color highlights, it should make up for that. This is a little dark, so I'm going to do a little bit more paint. Once you're happy with your base coat, then you can go ahead and start adding some lighter highlights. On the highlights, you can go whichever direction you want, it doesn't really matter. And if you get streaks like this, just rub it with your thumb, and that'll kind of smear it in and make it blend. The key here is to not get too much of a pattern or anything going on. You want it sort of, all over the place. Now add some highlights with your yellow. You can use whatever kind of yellow you like. I like this King's Gold. It's kind of a sort of a dingy color. And you could use something a lot brighter like this real yellow if you want to. It's up to you. And the yellow highlights I do like to do along the grain. Same idea as the tan, you just want to sort of get it all over, a little bit blotchy. And if you get any weird spots where there's too much, just kind of rub that in. And my favorite aging technique or method or whatever you want to call it is the antique white. If you do want to do a black wash, which I'm going to do, go ahead and let this dry all the way first. But I'll go ahead and set that aside. For furniture, if you're wanting to do like a nicer furniture, or just make it look different from your floor, you could use a darker brown. Burnt umber is pretty good for that. And on this, I'm not worrying too much about the grain of the wood. I'm just getting it all over. If it gets in the grain, it does. It's totally fine. Most furniture is going to have a slightly nicer appearance than the floor anyway. You can also do the yellow highlights on furniture if you just want to give it a little bit of age. It's like the corners would probably have gotten scuffed a couple times. And then you can do your black wash. Wood is one of those things where you want to go kind of heavy on the black wash because of all the little bits of grain in there. Normally I would wait on black wash until I've gotten everything together so the wash is more natural with all the stuff that's on it. But just for this example. Alright, once you've black washed everything, it's going to be super dark. That's totally fine. Just go ahead and re-highlight a little bit with some caramel or whatever colors you like. You can go back to the original wood if you want to. I have these super cheap makeup brushes that I really like for dry brushing because they're very, very soft. I've heard you should use a really, really stiff one. Whatever works for you, go ahead and do that. I'm going to use one of these real soft ones. So there we go. I mean, it looks kind of strange without having individual boards, but that's the basic idea with the color. Just go ahead and stack those on there. You can put a mini on it, some food. Kind of makes sense now. This came out a little bit dark, but that's still the same idea with the colors that I usually use. Normally I don't do the wood out of foam. I actually use popsicle sticks most of the time. So that does change the color a little bit. Here is an example of some made out of popsicle sticks instead of foam. This is the burnt umber, which is what this is made out of. It does look a little bit different. And then these ones are done with the nutmeg, which is what this was done with. So yeah, it really depends on if you're using foam or popsicle sticks or what your base color is going to be. These were obviously based in black, so they came out pretty dark. You can base them in the black and Mod Podge and then go back and base the whole thing solid in nutmeg or whatever you want to do. But there you go, that's the basic color scheme for doing wood stuff. Hopefully this helps, and catch you guys on the next one.